All right. This ain't just a show. This is a platform. Veteran built, battle tested. Welcome to the MisFitNation. Yeah! Mic in a room, built from boots on the ground, now we breaking the rules. 2 vets, 1 leader, painting the sound, turn scars into sermons, let them echo around. Authors with truth, musicians with fire, actors backstage chasing something higher. Entrepreneurs bleeding just to get ahead. If you fought for your dream, yeah, you are what you said. If they told you no, if you still came back, if you fell to your knees but you stayed on track, this is your voice, this is your flame. Say it loud, remember the name. No salvation, just elevation. We rise again. From the fight to the end. We are the MisFitNation. No damn labels, no damn cages. If you're still breathing, you belong. Turn it up. This is our song. Yeah. This is our song. Yeah. Veterans standing with ghosts in the chest. First responders running in while the world second guess. Gold star names carved deep in the soul. Your story ain't over, we carry the whole. Coaches teaching mindset, breaking the chains, turning barely alive into owning the pain. Truth over polish, scars on display. If it's real, let it bleed. That's the misfit play. If it's heavy right now, and the dark feels close. If it's heavy right now, and the dark feels close. If it's heavy right now, and the dark feels close. It's stop right now. We're the more than you know. Don't walk alone. Veterans press 1, bring it home. Don't trade forever for tonight. You're still needed in this fight. We are the MisFitNation, built from scars and dedication. We rise again. From the fight to the end. We are the MisFitNation. Every voice is fabrication. From the silence to the scream, we're strong. Welcome home. You belong.
Woo! All right. After years of work, welcome everyone to the MisFitNation and a special edition, the release of Warrior Dad Stories. Of course, you know who I am. I am LaMonica, the host of the MisFitNation, and on behalf of our entire team, thank you for joining us here and there at the Southwest Oklahoma Brewing Company. I'll bring him up on the stage now. Hopefully, if the screen works for us now. There we go. DJ, our Warrior Dad, is on there. There we go. Hopefully. All right. Welcome, man. Brewing Company. Everyone join us online around the world, around the country. Today is special.
It should.
This is more than a book launch. This is gathering of veterans, families, leaders, storytellers, and a community that understands service. It does not end when we take off that uniform. It evolves. It becomes mentorship. It becomes leadership. It becomes fatherhood. It becomes legacy. Today, we celebrate a man who spent 32 years in service to our nation, a leader, a warrior, a father, and now an author, whose mission has shifted from leading formations to sharing stories that matter. TJ Baird created Warrior Dad Stories to bridge the lessons of service, resilience, family, and purpose. And as many of us know, some battles are fought overseas, others are fought in quiet moments. Missed birthdays, late night phone calls, distance, growth, the challenge of becoming the leader your family needs. That is what today is about. It's about the warriors who carried the family into every mission, the fathers who fought to battle, and the legacy we build when the spotlight fades. Today we'll hear stories, we'll experience live readings, we'll hear reflections from contributors, and members of this community.
Well, thank you. So trying to
Hopefully,
do
we'll all leave here carrying something meaningful with us. So without further ado, let's welcome in our man, TJ Baird. How are you, TJ?
I'm doing well, Rich. Can you hear me, brother? I think I got
I
everything
got
set
you
up.
now, brother. I got you.
All right. So you saw me staring off at the behind me here. My mom's over here. She'll come around here in a minute. We got a pretty good house here. I've got Michelle. She's the owner of Southwest Oklahoma Brewing. She wants to come around and
Awesome.
say hi. She and her husband Alvin have this amazing establishment.
Nice, nice.
My brother Derek, and my sister Tanya's coming on, and my sister Heather's around here somewhere. My warrior wife is around here somewhere. There she is. Hello,
Warrior wife. They want you on the camera, warrior wife.
Yeah. Hey, Rich. Thanks for the great introduction. It's actually been a crazy opening. We've got a slight lull, but we have a bunch of people out here. There's a lot of folks on the outside.
Outstanding.
And right over there, as you can see, Michelle is the owner of Southwest Oklahoma Brewery. She's been amazing.
The best place in Lawton, Oklahoma.
This whole community has been fantastic. So I want to say thanks for the entire Lawton community for being here. And Justin and Bill are here. Some good longtime friends are here too as well. So this is a community in the making. So thanks a lot, brother. This has been great. Looking forward to chatting with you and the rest of the crew out there in the world.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to help you and spread the word of Warrior Dad stories, not just on our live show, but in a live event. This is our first actual live event we've ever done. So this is awesome. And to be part of this with you, a brother in arms, a brother that served decades, his brother next to him who served decades. So this is awesome to be part of this. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, brother. I'm going to try to bring my wife over here. She's, I don't know why she's shy. She's been in the Army 30 years. She's still in. She's still in like camera shy.
We're trying to get her on the show too.
Right. Yeah,
This
she'll
is
be
smart.
on there eventually. My God, I barely see her. She's been traveling around so much. It's been good though. She really enjoys her job and what she does. It's been incredible. It's just, as any good husband should, you always marry up. Always got to marry up.
Like way up.
Like
way up.
Got that way outside your batting label. Yeah.
Oh, I did. Oh, yeah. So it's been really good. I've got some really good friends here that we've met along the way. And, this has been a great couple hours so far as we opened up the book launch for Warrior Dad.
That is awesome. As the audience knows, it started at 1 o'clock there in Lawton. So you get a lot of people coming early, and they're going to probably funnel in throughout the day and throughout the rest of the time you're there, which shows it's a testament to you, a testament to the community as well.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's so Michelle and Alvin here have just been amazing. I've got my stepsister. Eventually, she'll make her way over, and then I got my brother-in-law standing right next to us, right behind us. Been phenomenal. Just great girl. All of us growing up together, and just being able to visit. It's been amazing. They actually flew in last night, got into Dallas, and so they had a mechanical failure coming out of Phoenix. They missed their flight out of Dallas to Lawton, Oklahoma. So they got a rental vehicle and they drove through some massive thunderstorms. Get here about 3:30, 4:30 this morning. They showed up at the hotel
Through a massive thunderstorm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
We had some men that this weekend, a good friend of mine, Alan Brooks, eventually will make his way over here. We were in the 504th MI Brigade together. We were on our last deployment together in 2017 to 2018. He was one of my battalion sergeants major, and just a phenomenal cat. So he's out here from Utah. It's neat, like you said, like being in the Army, being in the military, you meet these incredible people, and no matter where you go, and just make a phone call, say, hey, I'm in the area and I'm going to be there, or if y'all want to go out and visit, help do this. Here's Alan. I flew in from Utah. It's freaking awesome.
Utah, yeah, that's outstanding. Already got comments coming in. Tanya Bowman, congrats.
That's my sister. Oh yeah, it has been
marketing team.
really good. And but what
My
I
brother
told
says
here too is, he does. Tell us if I.
Love those shirts.
We had some really good questions here, but a lot of folks already in here just asking about the book, and actually we've had a lot of kids come up and say, I would like this book. Because
Nice.
My parents are warriors, and I want to learn more about what they did and how I can hear their story as well. So that was actually really, really amazing. And then what I've asked everybody to do is, even if you're on site buying the book here, so I always ask everybody, especially if you have Kindle Unlimited, is to download the books. That helps you make it a #1 bestseller. And if you're at the event here or kind of live, or even if you're online, you buy the book and everything, I just ask for everybody to do a review too. It really helps me out overall, because you always got to feed the algorithm, just like for podcasts, anything you do, you've always got to feed the algorithm to get that to generate, I guess, more support from the from the electronic world. So for everybody out there, please leave a good review. Please download the book. Please buy the hard copy. And if you're here in the Lawton area, in the greater Lawton area, come on out today at Southwest Oklahoma Brewery. If you can't make it out today, I know it's the Memorial Day weekend, and a lot of events are going on to memorialize and to pay respects to our fallen heroes. I will also be on Monday. I'll be at Southwest Toyota at 1700 Central Time, and I will do a book signing there. A friend of ours is the general manager there. He's been kind enough, just like Michelle and Albert, kind enough to open up their doors for us to help not only celebrate the book launch, the book signing, and but an opportunity for us to close out month of military appreciation in May, and to also pay respects to our teammates who have fallen.
Definitely. And like you said, this weekend is a huge weekend across our country. For us who served, it's a somber weekend. For those who did not serve, it's their weekend to say, hey, it's start of summer. And I don't blame them for what they do, but at least take a pause and think about our brothers and sisters who didn't make it back, and then go burn your meat and drink your beers, have a good time. But remember why today is here. But all the high schools graduated last night and today here. So everyone here is celebrating.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So that's a big thing too.
If you're okay, can I read those?
Oh, definitely.
For our teammates, I'm going to flip through my book here.
Yeah,
I like struggle with the big words now.
That's my brother
love right there.
For sure, color commentary. If you need some more, let me know.
Thank you. My brother always adopted.
So. Yes. So I'm going to read this on Monday when I'm at the at Southwest Toyota, and I'm going to read a list of my friends that have fallen along the way, just so I can pay respects to them as well. So I'll read this today while I'm online with you all, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead. I put you on solo.
Oh, thanks, brother. It is Ode to the Forgotten Heroes. Their names are whispered in the breeze. Their stories carried by the seas. No parades, no golden prize, yet they still shine with watchful eyes. For those who gave, for those who led, who stood in ranks but went unsaid. No song nor speech can match their grace, but in our hearts they hold their place. So to all of my teammates, all of their family members that are out there, to all the Gold Star family members, to all our friends that we're missing today, I just want to say I love all of you. I also want to give a special shout out to my sister-in-law, Ginny, who a couple of years ago passed today on the 23rd of May, 2020, unexpectedly, suddenly. We talked about her today, too, and just said, hey, she's watching us today. We miss her greatly. We love her greatly. I know she would be here today with us, just enjoying the time here and just really brightening the place up. So it's my sister-in-law, Ginny. We love you and miss you. And as time passes, and continue to guard the gates of heaven for us, because at some point we will see each other again. So we love the sister.
Definitely. They say it. We die 3 times, they say. So you die physically, and then you die when they put you in the ground. But you really, truly die when we stop saying the names of those we lost in. I think what you just did now tells the story of those that we lost, that our brothers and everyone around us does the same thing. And keep saying their names, they'll stay with us forever. And that keeps that hug around them, keeps that love going.
So when I wrote this book, in fact, the first ode I wrote was Ode to the Weighty Bears. It was specific to just the hardships and endurance that our service members go through, that we go through every day, and not just the service members, but everybody who's out there on the front lines, working their asses off, making a better life for them and their families. And there's a blank chest. If you look at the book itself, you see that it's blank right here. That's the original. This is the original image. And then I started writing all of my teammates that have fallen along the way. Unfortunately, just got to be too many. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't put them all on there. And it was, to me, it was very heartbreaking as I couldn't do it. And I actually had to step away for a couple of days. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do now, because I really wanted to say thank you, not only to my daughter who I wrote this book for, but I want to say thank you to all of my teammates. And so in the ode, you'll see it's I remember always. But I took it out from the beginning because I did not want that taken away, because I'll bore your dad over it. I don't want those competing. But in the book itself, you'll see it, which I will remember always. And again, it's just, I just can't, obviously I can't put a raised name on it, unfortunately. It's just not enough room. But it's to them, and for them, and this weekend is for them, because they did the ultimate sacrifice. And I miss all of my teammates a lot.
Definitely, that's amazing. And even when I had you on the show we were talking, laughing about a lot of things on the show, of course. And we talked about the book coming out. And I think at that time, it was about probably 8 weeks before the book released at that point. And you were pumped at that point. You were excited to get this book out there. Now it's your baby. It's out there now. How do you feel today?
I am nervous and excited. I'm excited because I did a thing. We did a thing. It's not just me. I want to say thanks to all of my teammates, all the folks, like my family, my small group, my stepsister, my mom, my brother, my sister, my wife, and all the folks that really helped me shape the book, shape the story, shape the image. Thanks, Jenny. And so it wasn't just me alone. So that's exciting. Nervous because this is my story. This is my life. I lived everything in this book. From leaving when my daughter was very young to coming home when she's much, much older as a young adult, after my time at deployments, to being shot at, having a friend come in and pull me out of a building. I was sleeping through all the fire for the first 2 hours, coming back in the building and seeing my cot was shredded, shrapnel was below, like embedded several inches underground, just staring at it going, oh my God, if it wasn't for this man who pulled me out of there, I would be dead. And I'm on 23 years of borrowed time right now. And then over the long years after that, just being able to reciprocate and help others through their hardships as well, not just on the battlefield, but even after the battlefield. So yeah, it's pretty neat, and just I thought it was pretty cool to have these kids come up and say, I want to read this book. I want to read it with my parents.
Yeah.
I want them to tell me their stories so that I can understand what they did when they were. I thought that was really cool. These young kids, I think we had like 4 or 5 kids come up. Always really cool.
That's awesome, because when you wrote this, it wasn't really for them. It was for the adult population, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's true. It was for the adult population. And
so now you got a whole new audience.
Yes. We had the opportunity to speak at a few engagements. My brother and I spoke at a couple of different engagements, and I've had people reach back out and say, hey, will you come and speak with us about your experiences as you open up about your life and challenges you face and how you were able to reforge yourself on a pathway. And I told you this, really, my daughter helped me out. My family helped me out. V-Star, the shining light in my life, not only shielded me when I was deployed as I was going into combat, her light shielded me, but her light also lit my path through recovery. She actually started my path to recovery. That's why this young girl that's in this book, 6 years old, because that is the moment, the day when my daughter was 6, and she said, hey, Dad, you're too scary. I want to go back home. I don't want to be here. She's with my excellent time. With us in the summertime. I dropped to my knees. It was brutal. And she set me on a pretty tough path. And here I am today to reforge and still walking that path. She continues to light it even in the darkest times. Her light guides me. And I'm very excited to have her in my life, too. Looking forward to the first book that came out was hers. I pulled it out of the box.
Nice.
This is it. That's the one that's all mine. I decided. And it's when she comes out in July to visit after she's getting ready to head out to her summer abroad in London and in Italy for Shakespeare. for her semester abroad. It's fantastic, and we'll see her in July. We're gonna celebrate together as a family. We're gonna sit down and read the book. And we're gonna do some story sharing.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And kudos to you and her, of course, and helping you on this drive and recovery and such, and keeping the family tight together. When I first retired, I found out how much I did to my daughter, and it wasn't by her telling me directly; it was for her by writing a story, an article for magazine called "The Life of the Army Brat, Military Brat." And in that article, she ripped me to shreds in that article, and I didn't know that until I read it. I was like, "Oh my god!" To her, "Oh my god!" And that's what it took for me to wake up and find that I needed that recovery as well. And I needed to go on a different path completely, or I was going to lose it. Sometimes the mouth of Babe really helps us out.
Yeah, I mean, because your family, your friends will tell you all this stuff. Your daughter stands in front of you, writes about you, and you read it and you realize, oh my gosh, I didn't realize the significant impact that I had on that young child.
Right.
And what I need to do to change my life, to make things better. So it's it's crazy. Now I will say this though, because we're on the talk about kind of backstories and everything else. For the team that's out there, jump on the website wordthatstories.com, and you can download the free companion guide. It goes right to the page, and it gives you a massive backstory on why I wrote the book. It has a lot of I call the lost haikus on there. Inspired a lot of the O's, and I'll tell you which O's they inspired. And that's actually going to be my impetus for doing the audio book. I'm going to do a very similar format to what I did with the companion guide. I'm just going to expand it out a little bit more. So probably the next few months, I will start doing some recording for the audio book. That'll be coming out as well at some point. So, and then The Adventures of Cool Bear will be following it sometime later this year, which is the actual children's book. And it's about my little buddy. Let me get my go-go gadget arms. That is Cool Bear. Not that he's Cool Bear. So my daughter gave him to me, and he goes with me everywhere.
Nice. That sounds.
Oh, that's your water right there. You're ridiculous.
You're just giving you a hug there.
And then I don't know. Would you be okay if I have some folks here online?
Yes. This is about you here. This is about you, so let's get him on there.
Okay, so I'm gonna hand this over to my brother so he can talk a little bit. And I'm gonna bring my mom around, a couple of my friends and everything, and then just let me know what any question. And after that, if you're good for like question and answer, I'll gladly do that. I'm gonna go sit behind me. I'm gonna go find a couple of the books. My brother MCs a little bit of it, but I'll jump.
Okay, that sounds good.
Thanks, brother. Thanks.
Am I talking about you?
Oh, yes, you are.
I'm not sure you. Hello, I am the better looking twin, of course.
You're the artillery officer, right?
I am. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you? Nice to meet you. I met you through him. He told some stories about you when he was on the show. They were all good. All of them were good.
Oh,
So you want to share some stories about him now?
Yeah, no, I have some great ones. Which ones do you want? Do you want the high school ones, the young ones, the Army ones?
Whichever ones you won't get us all in trouble.
Oh, well, that's a good one. That's a good one. I will say that we're really excited as a family and all of our friends here having Tom launch his book here, especially here in Southwest Oklahoma Brewery. This really great town of Lawton. But really, really happy for him, and he's really poured his heart and soul into this, especially for him and really for his daughter and his family. And I think it's super important. And then what I think is fascinating is it's a book of poetry. And you think of a guy who 6'5", 240 pounds, giant warrior, who's a warrior poet. And so you talk about a guy like that large, who's done a lot of stuff in his time, a lot of business, and business was good for a while. And you look at that, you're like, oh, the guy's a poet. It's kind of weird, you're like, oh, whatever. You think of a poet as like somebody who's a little smaller, a little beret, it's,
Definitely.
you look at Tom, you're like, wow, like, man, but he's a warrior poet. And
Right.
he does a great job telling a wonderful story. I've got friends of ours, they've all been in combat, done things in their life, and or separated from family from one thing or another. And then when they read this really great book, they read it and they read a poem or two, and they got to stop. You talk about some steely-eyed killers, right? Like some folks who've been around the block and done things in the hardest situations known to man. And they read these poems, and they got to stop. You can see that one tear drop as they think about their family, think about their friends, the ones that they've lost along the way, or reconnected with family over time. It's pretty amazing. It reminds me of those Thermopylae, the Gates of Fire, Leonidas and the boys going out there to fight. And you crack that chit, you put it in the basket. That's your humanity. And when you come back, if you make it back, you pull it out, you connect it, you bring your family back. And that's kind of what this book is reconnecting.
Definitely. We talked about it on the show. I was pumped up to see it come out. Just seeing his passion for it and his passion for everything he talked about. He had a passion for it. And like you said, having these guys who were warriors and now write poetry, it makes you think back to the movie Black Hawk Down when the Delta guy is writing a children's book. And the big brute in there is writing these children. What are you writing? I'm writing a children's book. Oh, that's wonderful. It's great. But you don't think that can happen. And then when it does, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Some things he's done, and what I love is he's done this, and then Cool Bear. He didn't really talk too much about Cool Bear, but Cool Bear's been on some missions. Cool Bear has seen his fair share of cool things, and he's read this really great children's book about it. His experience with Cool Bear, and Cool Bear's experience is really flying around and doing great things too. So it's great to be a part of it and being from soup to nuts, start to finish, watching it evolve and getting to be there in the ground with him and seeing what it looks like in the finished product. It's truly amazing. He's someone who's done a lot for this nation, and some of it unheralded that you can't really talk about. But through his stories, you can see what he's done and how he's reconnecting, and it's absolutely fantastic. So for those who are out there having some troubles, please read this. It gives you an opportunity to reconnect ways to do it. It's pretty fantastic.
And the website is going across the bottom of the screen right now, so you can get on the website. And you can get on there and find the book and buy it and support the mission. And like he said earlier, leave that review. The review is where it really helps. Get on Amazon, leave a review. Make sure they understand that you're reviewing when you buy the book. That'll help it get out to more people.
Absolutely, and we're looking, absolutely. The review is the best. Right? It helps other people connect with the book, actually connect with the story, and really like everybody else. What do you trust more is other people's reviews.
Right.
And I think folks have the opportunity to do that. Giving us really great reviews. It's one of the best things we do.
Okay. Like you said, even for us, it doesn't matter if I'm on YouTube. It might be great here, but on Spotify and Apple, I still need 8 dang reviews. I know that show. And it's weird that I can go out and pick and say, "Oh, you're that guy from the MisFitNation." I said, "Are you subscribed?" Oh, I've seen it once. I said, "Subscribe, please. Do something. God, please help us."
Press the button, right? Just press the button.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt you at all.
Exactly.
It doesn't cost you anything.
Exactly. And as you can see, you got some folks back here talking about the book. It's really great. And this morning when we set up, what's really amazing is before we started Rich, we had people already here lined up ready to go.
Outstanding.
So it's really great. And it being this atmosphere, I really got a big shout out to Alvin and Michelle for allowing Tom to come here to the Southwest Oklahoma doing it here. So a lot of great folks here, and you can't really see it now, but in front of us is a pretty good group of people, and it's really great. This community has really come out and supported. Lawton is the fourth, recently the fourth best place to live as a veteran, right? So it's really great for our veteran community, and they do a lot for the veteran community here, and it shows today. A lot of folks coming out here to talk to Tom, and a lot of us is connecting over some really good food and beer, or whatever your drink choices, I guess. So and then listen to his story. It's really amazing.
I mean, that's awesome. It's great that the community comes out to support, and of course, the Southwest Oklahoma Brewing Company is right there to say yes, come on in and host us here because one, you're local. We'd love to have you here and promote you, but two, it also we help promote the way.
Yeah, Ken, it's kind of like what you're talking about. Hey, just hit the subscribe button. Come on out and check it out. Yeah, no.
So really when he said it was at the brewery, I said, let me check it out. I went on their website, checked out the pictures of the brewery. I said, oh man, if I still drank, that'd be a place I hung out at.
Yeah, it's it's great. Friends of ours, we come here at least once a week, if not more. It's like our cheers. Everybody knows little cheers. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, no, but like I said, again, Tom's Day Zero, egg split. Here we are, right? But he's done some amazing things in his life, and really proud of what he's done. 32 years of service, and then writing this has been very comfortable for him. And so, for folks out there in the MisFitNation crew, everybody's got a pocket. Everybody's got a story to tell. Tell your story. And get it out there. I think it's one of the greatest things you can ever do. And Tom has absolutely done it. And I'll put a shameless plug in. We're writing Trophy Husbands Survival Guide. And we'll have that. Oh yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be a series of books. We're going to publish that next year.
Yeah.
Not this year. It's going to be really amazing. But I've got my stepsister Heather and her husband Darren. I got to tell you before I go, is Tom's got a lot of great friends. If you notice, a lot of us have Arctic blonde hair.
I see that. It's a style. Is it a Lawton style or is it just?
It's a veteran style, like they call it, the grizzled veteran style.
You're gone, so.
yeah, or it's going away, right? But so I'm going to pass it off to them, Rich. I want to say thank you for you and the MisFitNation for allowing us to be on the podcast and all that you do. I love your podcast. I love what you stand for, and I really thank you. It's absolutely amazing. So thanks a lot to you.
No problem. Thank you. And whenever you want to come on the show and tell your half of the story, come on in.
Brother, we'd love to come out there, or we'd love to be on your show together and kind of talk our story. And just a lot of, I could tell some fun stories about Tom.
It'll be funny. I know that. So.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to pass it off to Heather and Darren here.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right, MisFitNation. If you're checking this out, this is Great Day. Warrior Dad Stories is out. You're in live from Lawton, Oklahoma. Warrior Daughter. All right.
Hi, my name's Heather. I am Tom's stepsister, and our parents knew each other a long time ago and ended up kind of coming back as a second marriage. And so I've known him since he was 17. And that's kind of my story. So I work for a certain government agency as a nurse and deal with veterans a lot. And just want to say that this book is really special to me in that I was an Army brat. I moved every 2 years when I was young. And a lot of sacrifice on my end that I didn't understand or was confused about for many, many years. And you see now doing what I do, I'm exposed to veterans a lot. And they can very often be relegated down to a diagnosis or a service connection or kind of a set of experiences, and getting to see why they did what they did and how that affected them and how they were always trying to come back to family, come back to home, come back to a different sense of mission. That's where this book particularly humanizes their experience in a different way.
That's awesome. And a letter agency you work for, you get to see a lot of us grizzled people. And I'm sure you see some that are very upset, some are very just mellow. But you also get to hear a lot of their stories, because I know when I go into the medical facility, I hear the older guys, especially the Vietnam fellas that are still with us, that aren't angry. They tell good stories, and they easily share. And I'm sure you get to sit and just listen to them in the short time you get to deal with them, because there's a lot coming through. Do you think they would?
Yeah, at the beginning of my career, I was literally telling somebody today that at the beginning of my career, it was not uncommon to see twice, 3 times a year 2 veterans. Still quite a few at that point. And now I was saying that even our 4 veterans are now sort of the older veterans in the crowd. And so it's now a new set of veterans, having dealt with another conflict. And so it's always interesting to really get in touch with why they did what they did and how we can help. So there was a few specific quotes in here that spoke about kind of a parent sacrifice. My daughter was in the Army, and I'd just like to do a shout out to my dad and say, thank you for what you did. And yeah, that's my story.
Outstanding. Thank you, Heather. Thank you for what you do.
All right. Well, this is a really neat podcast, and I think we're going to turn it over to either grandma or sister. I don't know who's coming in next.
I'll just take the guess. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you.
All right, we are rolling.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing great. And what's your name?
My name is Tanya. I'm their big sister.
Oh, you're the one that's been posting. All right, got you.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Awesome.
You're welcome.
Thanks for. I thank Tim for having me do this. This is the first time someone's offered me to do this kind of thing, and I said yes for you, brother. I'll do it for you in a heartbeat. And I don't have no one to go to graduations to today, so I'm good. I'm an empty nester.
Oh wow. Okay.
So this is an awesome.
It's an experience. This is the first for us.
That's it's awesome. It's a great family event. All of you are there to support him and this journey of Warrior Dad. What are you most proud of him for this?
Honestly, everything. I mean, he's worked so hard to get where he is, to get the stories, everything. They're both amazing. So proud of them both.
Yeah, I had him on the show. Me and him, we laughed a lot when he was on the show, and then of course we talked about this a little bit about family. But we just had an instant connection with each other, and I've seen him get on other shows. And then when you wrote me and asked me to be on this, I was like, "With honor, brother, with honor, I'll do this for you." And this is just a great event.
I'm glad you did. Yeah, I've just been so excited to come here. I've been looking forward to it for a very long time, and now it's here, and it's amazing.
And you get the launch, and then you get to see the ride and where it goes from now. It's going to be amazing. And like I said earlier, review, help this thing grow.
Yes. They're watching, I mean, the whole child, watching them grow and become who they are today.
Yeah.
It's been an adventure.
I was going to say, probably a big adventure in the early years.
Yes. Well, so we're only 22 months apart.
Okay. All right.
My mom went from 1 to 3 kids in 22 months. So
wow.
We're all very, very close in age, very close growing up. It was a lot of fun. I wasn't too happy when Tom came home when he, I was a toddler, 22. So from what I've been told, I didn't speak to my mom for a little bit, I bit Tom in the face when he came home. So Derek was in the hospital still because he was sick. So he didn't get to come home right away. But whenever a few days later he came home, I said, is there any more? Like, how many are we bringing home here? Because I didn't quite understand, I wouldn't even do. Yeah. So, but I love them both very much. And I'm just so super excited to be here. Be with my family. We're all over the country. I'm on the East Coast, Virginia Beach. So I don't get to see them very much. I shouldn't say that. I don't get to see them as much as I would like to. So there you go. You're spinning here. Technical difficulty. Hey, Tom. He's spinning.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me see.
The Madre.
Hold on. It might have dropped. We may be the only ones in the show. We'll see what happens. That'd be kind of fun. What's up? We're still up? Okay, here, let me see that real quick. We're still on. All right, here we go. All right, team. I don't know where Rich is here, but we're gonna run this back there until he shows up. Hey, I just want to thank everybody for being on here. I've got my mom on here, and then I'm gonna get on here, Mom. So I'm gonna hand you the headphone. We're gonna ask some questions. Oh, your hair looks great. I mean, what mom has purple hair? It's pretty impressive. Or grandma, you're the purple hair grandma. Purple grandma. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna hand you these. You got it. You got it here. All right. You good? All right. So I got my mom here as we're waiting for Rich and everybody to come back online. I've got the lady who gave me, as I like to say, gave me the ability for the written word and for the power of speaking voice. So if it wasn't for my mom, I don't know where we would be today. Just continue to push us every step of the way, never allowed us to quit. Every time we started something, she would not allow us to quit. And mainly because she's like, nope, you start it, you finish it. That's all there is to it. And Mom, I want to say thanks because I don't think I would have finished this book without that discipline you instilled in us all these years. So I love you very much. And you have any fun memories you want to talk? I know you roasted me on my retirement ceremony. Maybe you don't want to go that far. Oh, you do. Whatever, it's up to you. So, what do you think? What are some fun memories of me calling you about when I told you I broke my leg when I was in jump school?
I don't remember that, but I remember. Can he hear me?
Yeah, you gotta speak up.
Okay. When he went to Fort Bragg to jump school, it really concerned me because in junior high one year he had, this is the school year, not the calendar year, 4 broken bones, and three of them happened in PE class. None of them happened at home, thank God. So anyway, all I could envision was him falling out of the sky into a tree, breaking his neck or something. So one night, he calls me at 11 p.m. I'm in Virginia Beach. He's in Fort Bragg.
Fort Benning. I was in jump school.
No, jump school. You were in Bragg.
No, Benning. I know where it was at. Benning.
All right, never mind. He said Benning. I know it was Bragg. At any rate, he was.
Mom's always right.
Yeah. So anyway, he calls me at 11 p.m. and says, he's very excited. He says, I'm going to jump at midnight. And I'm like, oh God. He's going to stop me at the sea. He's going to wind up in a tree. They won't find him, blah, blah, blah. So I say to him, why didn't you call me after the jump? And his reply was, well, I didn't want to wake you. Really? You think I'm going to sleep now?
I can see Rich over there just laughing.
What was that, sir?
I said, well, I got wounded in Afghanistan. It was probably 1 a.m. Jersey time. So I was supposed to call I was going to call my mom and dad. I said, no, I'm not, because my mom will kill me if I call her in the middle of the night. So I waited till I woke up the next morning, and I called her, and she said the same thing you did. You think I was sleeping knowing you're in war? I said, oh my God, I thought you were hurt just now. That's why I was laughing.
Yeah. He would do a lot of things that he thought was funny, and I was worried. Like when he was out in Presidio, Monterey at language school, he has cousins that live in San Diego, and he told me he was flying down to San Diego to see them. And I asked what airline, and he told me, one of his classmates had a pilot's license, and he was flying him down. And I'm thinking, oh God, another 20-year-old young dude with a brand new pilot's license. And so I said, Tom, I don't think this is a good idea. Well, anyway, he apparently went many times. So about 1.5 years later, when he was at Bragg, this lieutenant commander from the Navy calls me asking for Tom. And I said, well, he's not here. He said, well, whatever his name was, I can't remember. He said, well, I'm here for the weekend. I'm a pilot with the Blue Angels. And I wanted to invite Tom. And I'm like, how do you know Tom? You're a naval officer. He's an enlisted soldier. He proceeds to tell me that he and Tom were classmates at Presidio Monterey, and he was the pilot that flew to San Diego. Do you think my son would have at least alleviated my fears to let me know this was a seasoned pilot who was crazy enough to land and take off an aircraft carrier? No, he wouldn't do that.
That's what sons are for.
Yeah. You know, being a boy mom is kind of fun.
It is kind of fun.
It is a lot of fun, and I'm very proud of him in his book. He did in junior high school, did write some things they did get
Published
into
in the Panther Tales, 1989.
Yeah,
Panther Tales at Princess Anne Junior High.
Yeah, in junior high, he had some poems or something published, but I never expected anything like this, and so I'm really proud of him and glad that he keeps with the legacy of being able to write well and that sort of thing. And I'm so glad that you are having him on your show as well. So I'll give you back to Tom.
Thank you. Great meeting you.
So my mom, so one of these, when I was in this is Afghanistan, part of my third or fourth deployment. I was calling my mom over at Ford Operating Base Chapman, and chatting with, all of a sudden you hear all this commotion outside. Boom, boom, boom. And she's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "I gotta go." She's like, "What is that?" I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta go. And I hung the phone up, and that's because we were taking mortar fire at that point. And so a couple of days later, I called. She's like, "What was that?" I said, they were just doing stuff around the fob." I don't want to freak her out. I was like, "Oh my God!" I tell my mom, "Hey, you were calling me right in the middle of my mortar attack." I don't know how that would have gone over. I don't think that would have gone over well. Yeah, Rich. I know you good, Mom? Okay, awesome. Yeah, thanks for letting my family speak for a little bit. I really appreciate it. Awesome. With some folks coming in. I know folks are coming in and out, and I got to get some books signed in. So it's been really good. The books come pretty fast. My sister and a couple of my friends that got theirs a couple of days ago, and folks are ordering. And when I go to see my friend's family, and for folks that are ordering, if I'm ever in your area, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to come and sign it. I'm trying to solidify some additional book tours. I'll be in Phoenix in August. What's up? Oh yeah, Rich, did you get your book yet?
No, it's not here yet. No.
Did it come in yet? What? I overnighted that badly. It should have been there like 10. It should have been there 10:30 this morning. Your time. I guess we're in our time, essentially, because you're on Central Time in Tennessee. So
same time. It's time, but my UPS people and my mail people in my neighborhood, they run like the mail person from like The Simpsons that drives by and just throws it out. That's kind of how they do things. So I'll see when he gets here.
I'm gonna lodge a complaint since I did everything overnight, so I can get it to you, man. Because thanks a lot for really putting this together for us. It's awesome.
No problem. Anything I can do to help.
Thanks a lot, dude. And then, so I'll be in Phoenix in August. I'll be in Southern Pines, North Carolina, in the 7th of November, where the Veterans Day, kind of close to the Veterans Day weekend. And I'm scheduled some stuff in Omaha. And I was talking to a friend of mine over here, Janice, who lives in San Angelo, trying to get down there as well. And I'm trying to just kind of solidify this book tour over the next year or so, just see, to get the word out. And been hit up a couple of times for speaking engagements. Looking forward to that. And,
nice
kids. That was actually very surprising. And someone asked me, "Hey, do you speak with kids?" And I said, "Yeah, from young kids to young adults, and all the way up to, like I said, the ancient ones like my mom." So I'll be speaking with her. I think I might be getting the finger from my mom right now, but
They are the
so
same person. See?
that's right. So I'm speaking with her book club and everything. So I'm looking forward to that. So it's just a great opportunity to get the word out and just connect with other people and share stories, share experiences, and then open up and just say, hey, we can walk a journey together. We can be together. I think it's pretty awesome. And it's fun to listen to other people's stories too. So
Yeah.
it's really cool. I really do enjoy it. Hoping my wife will come over here at some point. She's staring at me with a grin on her face.
Smiling at least.
Sticking her tongue. Yeah, she is smiling. So I'll hold the score, say hi. Oh, here we go. Here she goes. She's going up.
Can't hear now.
You want the headphone? You want the headset? Here you go. We'll put my wife on.
All right.
All right.
Sitting next to the trophy husband. Thank you for joining us.
I know he needs his trophy husband.
What's up?
Yeah,
Trophy husband shirt.
I got my trophy husband socks on.
He does. Yeah. Okay. He's got trophy husband socks on.
of course he does. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm excited for him. It's a big day.
It's a huge day. And like I told everyone else, it was like 8 weeks ago he was on the show and he was pumped then. And I can feel the energy for this day to come. And when he asked me to do it, I jumped right in, of course.
He's been a hot mess for the last 3 days.
See, yes, there we are. That's putting it nicely.
That's
See?
the reality.
That is the reality of it. I mean, when the books didn't come in on
He's definitely been nervous. Yeah, waiting for the books to come in.
like last
Kind
minute.
of a last minute arrival, and then just making sure everything was ready. So we've gotten through today. It'll be it's good now.
Yeah. He's probably more nervous doing this than he was going to combat. A lot different.
Definitely different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's interesting because when you're in a physically dangerous situation, you get that whole adrenaline thing going, and a lot of times I think you don't even really realize how bad the situation was until afterwards, and you look back at it, and I think just not even so much the book launch, but just putting yourself out there in this way and being vulnerable, I think it takes a lot more courage to do that sometimes than it does to put yourself in that physically dangerous situation.
Definitely. And you're not controlling a lot of stuff. A lot of the parameters you're not controlling when you're releasing the book. When it comes in, you can't control all that. So you have to really rely on tribe, rely on the marketing, rely on the warehouse. And that put a lot of pressure in too.
Yeah. He's good though. He's calmed down a little bit now. We'll see. Hopefully he'll sleep a little bit better tonight.
Yeah.
I think he will. He can breathe now.
The last couple nights have been rough.
Excited.
But it is, yeah. It's the nerves and the excitement, but it's out there now.
Everything else will be easy.
It's been good.
Yeah.
Yep. Good. And did I hear you say earlier you're from Jersey?
Yes.
Where in Jersey are you from?
I was born and raised in Jersey City.
Okay. I'm from Manahawkin, so
Okay.
I'm a Jersey girl.
My dad lives in Bloomfield now.
Yeah. I was actually born up in Caldwell, so started up there and then we moved down south.
And you moved way down to the Wawa world.
To the Wawa world. I miss my Wawas.
Yeah. We're getting one here in Clarksville.
No Wawa in Nebraska. Are you really?
It opens
I
up
spent my first 4 years there in Clarksville. No Wawa there.
2 weeks. It
No
opens up.
Wawa in Nebraska.
Yeah, there's not even a Buc-ee's.
Oh, Buc-ee's either.
No.
It's a hard life. God.
I know they have this thing called the big thing in Nebraska. They keep trying to convince me to try it. Runza.
Runza?
I don't know. It's some kind of fast food sandwich thing.
Okay.
I haven't tried it yet. I don't know that I will. I'm not really a fast food person, but I never heard of it either until we moved to Nebraska. So I never really saw us moving to Nebraska either. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Good.
And So what do you think his next
All right.
steps will be?
I'm gonna give you
Okay, we'll bring it.
next step. So hold on. What should TJ's next step be? He should probably do a better job of cleaning the house and cooking dinner. Have the wine open always when I. Oh wait, you're talking about book stuff. I thought we were
Look,
talking
those were all
about
good
trophy
ones.
husband stuff.
Those were all good ones.
I mean, I keep telling him, right? Like, I'll keep him as a husband, but this trophy husband thing, it's provisional. And the trophy title can be removed at any time if the
Oh,
proper
man.
responsibilities are not fulfilled.
Woo! You got to step up.
So he's doing all right so far.
Thanks.
Yeah,
That's outstanding. I love it.
he's doing all right so far. Yeah, I mean, I think next up he's working on a children's book too, so it'll be exciting to see him get that out and continue to get the word out about Warrior Dad. I know a lot of people are excited to get their hands on it and get their signed copies. So hopefully he'll do something like this when we get back to Nebraska as well. For the local community there.
Yeah.
And then get the next book out. Keep it going.
And the Trophy Husband Survival Guide. That's going to
Yes.
be a fun one.
How to keep your title.
I know. I have to edit that one though.
Yes.
Don't be putting out bad information.
It's a checklist.
So, all right. I'm gonna hand you back over to TJ here.
Okay. Have fun. All right, so I'll see you Monday. Oh, I'll see you Monday. So I want to do, if you don't mind, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So I have many people confuse my buddy Alan Brooks next to me as my cousin.
Okay.
So we do. They're both very tall, both very funny looking, and have arctic blonde hair. So
There it is. Same genes.
I'm gonna hand the. Yeah, you're right. We have the same nose. Look like crazy. Like I said, we can be cousins. So I met Alan in 2017. Went out to the 504th MI Brigade. He was one of the battalion sergeant's major, and we get ready to deploy. And his battalion was the lead battalion for deploying. Plus, we got a plus up from the other battalion as we pushed forward in Afghanistan, 2017 through 2018. And it was awesome. I came out of Special Operations Commander for 17 years, and didn't know really much about the conventional force anymore. So any kind of ceremony, whatever it was, like Alan. How do we do this? He's like, YouTube it, dude. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll YouTube it. So we go watch YouTube. Is okay. This is what we're. I say, okay, can we make these adjustments or whatever? So Alan was really good about helping me reacclimate back out to the traditional force, and then not only just reacclimate to the traditional force, he is an amazing battalion, a hell of a battalion sergeant major. The nice thing is, when I deployed, he because how good he is, I was able to do what I needed to do, which was we traveled a lot in Afghanistan together. It was fantastic. We were able to travel around quite a bit and see all of his soldiers, I guess all of our soldiers, and then just sit down with them and just listen to all their great stories of what they were doing across the battle space. And we did quite a bit together, along with his battalion commander and my brigade commander. It was amazing. So I do want to share one crazy story. So it was Alan's birthday. He was the oldest, most seasoned guy in the battalion, in the brigade. And we're doing the ACF team, the old, like gender neutral standards, age neutral standards, everything. And for both seasoned cats, Alan's been deployed a few times, got some significant injuries, and even though he's on a permanent profile, he runs. He does the 2-mile run and everything. He does. He was rocking and rolling. And it was his birthday. It was your 50th? Was your 50th birthday? I think so. Yeah, it was his 50th birthday. And crosses the finish line. And we had some cats behind him who and they're 19 to 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
And as we're wishing you happy birthday, and we're wishing them happy birthday. And I was like, yeah, we're singing happy birthday. And I said, okay, look, y'all, what I'm getting ready to tell you is not anything against Alan here. I said, well, he's the oldest guy in the brigade at 50 years old. He's got multiple deployments, significant injuries because of his deployment time, does the run because at a cost to him because it's so painful, but he does it. I said, look, you should be inspired by that. By inspired, I mean, y'all should not let him beat you.
It should be
Look, we're both of us, y'all should be blowing past the both of us, like without a doubt, blowing past the both of us. We are. I mean, we're trying to get out there and do the best we can as the old dudes in the brigade. I was like, come on, man, this guy beat over half of our soldiers. It was freaking incredible. I'm like, hey, man, like that's the guy you want to be.
Yeah.
Almost 30 years in the Army.
Yeah, 30 years.
30 years. Like, this is the guy you want to be who, despite all of his injuries, he is still getting after it every day, especially at that on a performance test where I know a few, for about 3 or 4 days after, he's like, hey man, I'm probably not going to run for the next 3 or 4 days. This is gonna be for my knees, my ankles, my back. I'm like, hey brother, I get it. You got to, I get it. You got to go out there, give it everything you have. As being an old guy myself, I fully understand it takes a little bit longer to heal. So, really, I just want to say thanks to Alan, to my really good friend here. We always played a lot of jokes with his battalion commander, DB. I don't know if he's online or not, but we always played a lot of jokes on DB. So, he was always our +1. As a lieutenant colonel, you're not a VIP, but as an E9, you are, and you get allowed to have a +1 everywhere you go. And so we just dragged him along with us. Like, hey, man, you're our +1 buddy. He's like, oh, man. I'm like, yeah, dude. I mean, you can sit out there if you want, but we'll drag you to the VIP with us. So it was really good. I'm going to hand this over to Alan, if you don't mind, just for a couple of comments. If you got any questions for him.
All right, awesome. Thanks.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, Alan, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me. Well, thank you, TJ.
Oh, yeah, man. No, he's awesome. Rich is great.
Thanks for joining us, and thanks for supporting him on his journey here, and not making fun of him too much. But what's the funniest story you have of him?
So, I mean, I think some of the funny stories. I think one of the funniest is it's just like what he already mentioned was both him and also the battalion commander, like I mentioned, DB. They had a vast special operations background. And so just some of the funniest stories is like getting him acclimatized back into the regular Army. And so
I march.
It was just like, yeah, this is how you march. You remember how to march, right? So this is how you march. Information. So, yeah. Say, well, why can't we just requisition this and get this equipment, whatever? Why can't we just have it? I'm like, well, because there's a process in the regular Army that you guys don't necessarily have. But I think some of the funniest ones just teaching them how to march and march in formation and stuff. But that's one of the funny stories. But one of the things I just wanted to point out though is what really stood out to me a lot about TJ and his leadership was every time he had themes that he liked to talk to their soldiers. Like he said, we go travel around and we talk to a lot of our soldiers, and one of the themes that he really focused in on that's important for them to know was thought, word, and deed. Remember those.
Discipline,
right?
thought, word, deed.
Discipline,
Yeah.
Thought, word, and deed.
Oh my
God. So what does that mean? So discipline in just what it says. Just because you're the only one around and no one else is going to see you, if you don't do the right thing, right? Well, what should you be doing? Remember that. Remember everything in your thoughts, and that leads to what you say and what you do. Internalize it. And so that is something that stuck with me for a long time. That's something that I try to instill in people that I associate with, and it was just very refreshing and very good that that was a theme that he would try to get across to the soldiers too. And it's something that applies to not only the military, it applies to every walk of life. And so that is something that is your mentorship, your leadership, and not only for myself, and just for all the soldiers out there too, and also for the people that you come with. This is amazing. This is really amazing. I'm really proud of TK work he's done and with this book. And I was just reading through this book a little bit, and it applies. I see where some notes apply to not only it's applicable to, it's not just his story. It's applicable to me. I see myself, and I see where it's applicable to anybody who's been in the military or in the military, who's had to leave a loved one and stuff like that. But not only the military, but it's for anybody in walk of life, first responders, people who have to be out on hard jobs and be away from home. Corporate, it applies everywhere. It's applicable. So again, I think I really appreciate what you've done.
Thanks,
what you've been doing, TJ, and what you've done.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Thank you for your service, of course. And if you ever want to come on and share your whole story, you're more than welcome to be on the MisFit Nation as well.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. So I will go ahead and turn it back over here. I don't know how much time you got left. I'll turn it back over to TJ. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Alan. Rock, dude. Thanks, dude. So Alan flew in from hold on. Okay. Alan flew in from Utah to be here today. So he'll be here this whole week. It's awesome.
That's awesome. It's like a mini reunion for you. That's a good thing as well.
Oh, yeah.
It is. Could be good and bad.
It is crazy.
Yeah. I've been taking screenshots of each person that got up on the mic so I can send them to you.
Awesome.
I missed your mom because I was still fighting with the connection issue. That's not what I missed. I'll get that later though.
Oh, it got real loud here. Hold on a second. I'm gonna turn you up just a minute. All right. There we go. Okay.
It's been great watching the people when someone else is up here talking, seeing you behind them, signing or shaking hands, giving the hugs, getting the bro hugs and the pictures. I know for you, listening to your wife telling how anxious you've been and how much this has been on you for the last 3 weeks. How do you feel right now?
I feel great. I was remiss in saying this earlier. I do want to thank 2 ladies out there who really helped me through this entire process as I was trying to figure out how to make this book and how to get the book out to the world. And I want to say thanks to Jill and Jess. So they have Jill and Jess reached out to me, oddly enough, through LinkedIn. You never think that stuff actually works. You're like, oh, LinkedIn's great. I'm like, oh my God, it did work. And we had a quick call, and I said, okay, I'm gonna need some help, and they were amazing. And so this entire process has been great. And we had a timeline. And they asked me why it was going to be so long. I said, well, I'm retiring, so that's going to take a lot of my time. And then I'm moving, and all these things, life events are happening. And because I just got out of the military, I didn't want to rush anything because I needed time to transition and transform out of the military into what I want to do next. So to Jill and Jess, I just want to say thanks a lot for everything. Thank you for being phenomenal teammates to support me. And then the cool part is, I know there are a lot of authors out there and aspiring authors and folks like for you for doing podcasts and everything else. And so next week, they are actually hosting an author summit.
Okay.
And I've been posting that quite a bit on my social media. I just ask everybody if you really you want to learn more about how to design a book, what do you want to do, and then just listen to other speakers. We've got a couple of folks out there with the Podmatch owner will be on there speaking about what he does for Podmatch, all the podcasters from hosts to guests. And we'll be on there. I'm going to be speaking on there as well on Sunday. I think I'm going to be on an inspirational panel as we're locking in everything right now. I'm actually very excited because I looked at the people that are going to be on there. I'm like, holy crap, I still got a lot of learning to do. And as I won't say an amateur author, but as a new author, I'm looking forward to getting on this author summit. And so for Jill and Jess, I can't wait to get on there with you all on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be awesome. So you can get all that information on my website as well, or on my social media stuff. And I'll hit it to you too, Rich. I'll push it out to you a little bit after this. When I settle down for the evening. Yeah, so you get the word out as well. Because I think it'll be a great opportunity. If you just want to learn and understand, for anybody who's out there just wants to listen and say, hey, what do we want to do? And how can we if I, thinking about writing a book, thinking about doing a podcast, you just either a guest or a host. Hey, why not get on there? And it's free. Here's the best part. Okay, it is free. That's the cool part. It's free to sign up and to listen in on it. So yeah, I would say get on there for it's the Author Your Way to Riches Summit. And I think you just got to Google that. It'll pop right up. And so for the Jill and Jess, they're hosting it. They've got a great lineup. And I will tell you, as using their as they coached me through this, using their okay, I got to sign a couple more books. Okay, all right, I got to sign a couple books. So I'm going to get my brother online here, but I use their format, and it got me to where I am today. And so I am living proof of what they're talking about works, because I have been through their process, and it was amazing. And I cannot thank these two ladies enough for molding what I wanted to do into success for these publishers. So I'm very excited today. We're getting this out to the world. Like I said to folks, like we get an opportunity, whether you're at this event, whether you're online, please, especially if you're Kindle Unlimited, get the hard copy. Even if you do get the hard copy, grab a Kindle and then leave a review, because as any author, you want to make it a #1 bestseller. And then for me, I love speaking. I love to get out there and share my story so I can connect with others, and listen to other people's stories as well. And then, and I've said this before to a couple other folks, is if you're uncomfortable sharing your story, let me know. Tell me your story. Send it to me. I will put it into a poem format for you, and I will send it back to you. And I may ask you, hey, can I take all this as part of my collection and get this collection out to the world and say, hey, it's no longer TJ's story, but it's a collection of stories from the world. And this is who we are. This is what we do. This is how we reforge from. Could be just something that altogether inspiring, altogether motivational. Could be, hey, I went through a journey and a hardship. I went through a tough time, and here I am today, moving forward in my life as a warrior. And those stories right there, I think, just resonate over time. And if I can help get those stories out for myself and for other people, I'm in. I'm sure it's a couple of that. So I'm going to get a book, Derek. I'm going to get my brother over here. But when I get back, I don't know if there's any questions and answers for anybody on there that I could, if you want me to answer or anything like that.
I'll look up, because I lost connection. I lost some stuff, so I'll try to find it.
Okay. Derek. Yes. All right. I'm getting I'm bringing in the righty.
Bringing in the righty.
Better looking 20. Bringing in the righty.
Bringing in the better looking 20.
It's coming back in. The DH is coming back in. Got it.
Yeah.
And we're live from Southwest Oklahoma Brewing Company in Lawton, Oklahoma for Warrior Dad Stories. Derek's back on the mic. Welcome back, Derek.
Oh, thanks for having me again, Rich. It's really great.
Yeah. I'm sure you were circling a venue while we were talking. The vibe is still good.
Oh, yeah. No, it's smoking cigars, drinking some beer here. Life is great. So, yeah.
Drinking beer and having a good time at the brewing company. You got baseball on behind you.
Absolutely.
Kansas City versus Seattle, it looks like.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Oh, yeah.
If I try not to watch too much, I'll get angry. So.
There you go. There you go. Well, I'm an OKC Thunder fan as a transplant here, so they're doing really well in the playoffs. So life is good.
They won last night.
Yeah, it's really great.
2-1 there. They're heading towards the final 2 games to make to the championship. So you'll have a fun time there in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah. No, it's a great city to do this. So gosh, about 6 months ago, we were trying to figure out where Tom could do his book launch, and so we're looking at whether it would be in Nebraska and Omaha. And every time you see Omaha, you go Omaha, right? Like Peyton Manning, and then so we're thinking about that. Yeah, and so we were thinking about doing it there. And then Tom came here and was talking to a lot of the folks here. It's a great veteran community here in Lawton, Oklahoma. And this Southwest Oklahoma Brewery opened up just a little bit over a year ago, around April of last year. And so he talked to the folks here with Michelle and Alvin, and we've got a great network of veterans here. And it's been pretty amazing today watching people come in and out. and really take a look at the story. But yeah, it's a great place to do it here, and we're thankful for the opportunity to launch here in Oklahoma and Long Beach.
That's awesome, and
Absolutely.
Hear the backstory how all these events come to fruition. I mean, we know it in the military. There's always a planning committee to do all the stuff for the ball. Say a unit ball that takes probably 6 months to get the whole thing going, but it's really the 6 months prior to that where the lieutenant and that captain are given the ball and saying, "Hey, run with this." Then 6 months out, the event has started. But those two have been running for 6 months, and now just like you guys have been doing, and TJ's been doing this whole time, getting this book out and listening to his wife come on and say how anxious he's been for the past 2 weeks, but knowing that he had the tribe behind him, the tribe of all of y'all that are there right now. It's amazing to see everyone come up and have some great things to say, and everyone's smiling and having a good time because they're so proud of him, and that's amazing to see that come to fruition.
Like Tom and I say, we pay good people good money to say good things, right? So, but relationships matter, and that's the big one, right? And your network is your net worth, and as you look around, all these great people here, and building a great relationship with this community, and Tom does the same thing with Fayetteville, North Carolina, and the Southern Pines area. He's going to be out there in a little bit. He's going to do some stuff in the Nebraska area, in Omaha, around Offutt. But just building those networks is important, not just for any author or anybody, but just our relationship. It all matters because you never know when you're going to need it. You just really never know. And then when you need it, it's great to reach out that hand and have people come and help out. And it's been really great here today. And it's been an amazing time.
I'm just glad to be a small part of it from a few states away, but still with the digital world, it's like I'm sitting here with you.
Yeah, no, it's great. I tell you, man, we would love to come on. Like, we just got invited. We're going to be in Southwest Toyota on Monday for Tom's second book signing, not the book launch, but a book signing. So very similar, but at Southwest Toyota with a good friend of mine. He's a general manager partner there for an auto group there, and we were invited to come in a couple hours early and do. They've got a new batch of salespeople, so we're going to talk leadership with them and what it means to be a leader, whether you're a junior leader, direct level leader, organizational, or a corporate or executive leader. Leadership is leadership, and so it's been really great. He came out here a couple weeks ago, had to do some prep work, and we did the same thing there with one of their first batch of new leaders. We're gonna do the same thing again, and it's a ton of fun going out there and kind of telling your story of what it really means to be a leader at every level, and it's pretty amazing.
It definitely is. And being able to share your journeys with someone else and show how successful you built them and the little lessons that you guys learned along the way through life and service, of course, that really can translate into anything that we've learned in service translates pretty easily into other parts of life, corporate life, or even I got to talk to my niece a couple weeks ago. She was doing a report for school, and she never knew anything I did in the military. She just knew I was in the Army. So she asked me this question.
In the Army.
Yeah. And she's like, I didn't know you did all this. You never asked. I mean, I'm not just going to come and tell you things. I don't know how your head was at those times. So, but when I told her that, she said, now I understand the way you are. I know why you lead the way you are. I know that why you help people. I don't know. It's something I learned growing up. But the Army did help a lot.
Yeah, and I tell people it's not easy. The job's great. It's not easy, but you hit obstacles on the way. But it's been good. The learning experience for this past 30 or so years doing this. Tom's just retired with 32 plus years. I'll retire early next year with just about 30 years. And so our goal of Warrior Dad Stories with his website, we're doing is authorship, and then leadership coaching, and getting out there and just talking to folks and providing our experiences and telling people how to be a leader, not just how to be a leader, but cultivating unstoppable leaders. And that's what we talk about a lot is if you have to tell someone you're a good leader, you're probably not. We always talk about that, like, hey, I'm a good leader. Well, you're probably not. You got to tell someone that. We find that the best leaders are ones that cultivate unstoppable leaders. Folks are inspirational, accountable, disciplined, being fit, mind, body, and spirit, live through purpose, have fun every day at their job, these kinds of things. But really the most important part about being a leader is developing the next generation. When you leave, we leave. It's all about the next person up, because something could happen. Whatever it is, you find a job, you decide to retire, something else happens in life, whatever that is, good, bad, or otherwise. The best leaders cultivate unstoppable leaders, the folks that aren't going to stop the person up, the folks that are going to build teams. They're going to cultivate all of these other next generation leaders. We all see it. I always look at the fuzzy privates, like these young privates, the young lieutenants, and you can typically tell how people gravitate around other people and what that really looks like. And you start building those folks up, and then they in turn will do the same, like the Pareto principle. You spend 80% of your time on 20% of the people that are going to make your organization better, and they in turn will do that. And the more you do that, you start seeing these oil spots, oil leaders start to grow, and you're cultivating them. And they in turn do the same thing. I like it like Bill Belichick. Or like Bill Parcells, like all these coaches that used to work for Bill Parcells, are all championship coaches. Right. Or the Sean McVays of the world, who used to work for others, and they do the same, and they go out to be other great coaches in other places. It's very similar. You're growing the next generation leader, the next generation coach. And Tom's stories also talk to that when he talks with other people. Like, I think my favorite, and I know my favorite poem is the 3-part series that wrote the 3-parter where he talks about he's living on borrowed time. We've all done it. Like, we've all been deployed where you're so exhausted when things are blowing up around you. You don't hear it. You're like, what, that happened? You're like, or someone's knocking, you're like, hey, bro, we got to get going. You're like, but something's going on because you're so exhausted. And then everything just kicks into training and you just switch, it's like Sylvester Stallone Over the Top. Turn that hat around, click. Some of those young folks out there, nobody like us. You don't know what it is. It's a great movie.
Now they gotta
turn that switch.
Look it up. It's probably out there on Netflix somewhere or some streaming service.
Exactly.
It has it.
But then when someone will come up and then middle of a firefight in the bunker, you're watching things explode around you, and then you go back and you see your bed shred. You're like, well, that could have been me, and now you're on borrowed time, right? So that we talk about that a lot, and we talk about it with friends of ours. We've got lots of stories that are exactly like that, where you'll borrow time because somebody was there to really kind of save you, unbeknownst to you at the time. It's pretty cool to see that.
Higher force kind of made us move when we wouldn't have moved something. I was in Vermont.
Yeah.
We were in a circus tent type deal, like we were doing our right seat, left seat ride. My cot was the last cot in the tent. I got up. Someone called me to the front of the tent. I got up in front of the tent, and then I walked outside. Rockets came in and hit right next to my rack.
Oh my word! Yeah,
that dude didn't call me up there, I wouldn't be here. And I always think about that hole next to my tent. I didn't move my cot after. I thought it was pretty cool to have a hole next to my cot. And I said,
yeah, right.
Story. I'm badass. I made it through that, but I wasn't in there when it happened.
Yeah, lightning can strike twice, but ain't gonna do it here, right? We had all kinds of stories like that. Like I remember for our deployments, we was like New Year's Eve. We were watching some great '80s shows like Spies Like Us and Stripes or whatever, and rocket smacks into a building next to us. We go run down there to see what's going on. And young soldier. So there's our post office, the post office, not the mail, but the post office. You always got to have somebody there. Cat comes out like, hey man, you okay? He's like, what? Like, you okay? Eardrums, it was blown out, bleeding from his ears. Other than that, it was great. Other than that, Rocky goes through the front door. He had just got like a soda from this little refrigerator, and he's on a couch. He goes to sit on the couch. Well, the rocket hits the refrigerator. The refrigerator's gone, blows up, not out. And he's just sitting on the couch like, what just happened? I'm like, bro, like, you're like 10 feet away. Like, holy crap. And the only thing he's got like this is like a blown eardrums. And I was like, brother, I'm going to rub your belly. You're like the lucky Buddha right now, right?
You are him. You are him right now.
Yeah. And I was like, bro, got him back in the fight, a month or so later, he puts his ears, he gets him ready to go. And he's like, I want to go back. All these great stories, things like that. And and how do you reconnect? Well, you write about it. You write stories. You talk about it with other people. It's cathartic, and it's like I said, for all those out there listening, whether you talk about it on a great podcast like MisFitNation, or you write about it, or link in with other folks, just talk about it. That's one of the greatest things we can do. I got a friend of mine named Nick Cottrell, and he works for a great company called Moth and Flame, and they do they have an ocular, and they do suicide training with that, and it puts you in these really uncomfortable. It's not like hey, here's my PowerPoint slide, I'm gonna read these bullets. No, you're put this ocular on, you're sitting at a table, and you are immersed in this world. You've got these great actors that. Yeah, and it is impactful. Everybody, and they do sharp training. There's a sexual harassment assault response program. They do that. They do suicide, and they can program this spiritual training for anything, whether it be fire support training, it could be Army training, Navy training, you name it. But you put this out, and you're immersed in this situation, and you're doing this great training. And so out of that, Nick and I and Tom, we talked about all of our friends, is the best way to get through these things is just to talk about it, whether it's writing, again, your great podcast, or just BSing with the two, whoever. Reach out to somebody.
Yeah.
Because there's never a floor. There's always a way to bounce up. Floor is always spongy, right? There's always ways to bounce up. And, and when you hit rock bottom, the great thing about hitting rock bottom, the only way to go is up, and to do that, you gotta work with some really great folks. And, get a dog, get a cat, talk to somebody, and but this book right here is Tom's way to get back and help people out with that too. I think so. Not just him connecting with families, but with other veterans or anybody that's not a veteran of the service, to really connect and say, hey, we can all do this together. Life is for the living. Enjoy it. Have fun with it. Figure out a way. Reframe it. And if you can't, reach out to us. We'll help you out. Absolutely.
That's outstanding. And I like you said, rock bottom. The only place to go is up, and you already found where bottom is. So you know what the worst is. You go right back up that ladder and keep fighting. Yeah. Even for our brothers that are in that dark space right now. It's temporary.
Yeah, and everybody's situation is different, right? Everybody's rock bottom is different, and and so everybody's hard day is different. I heard a lot. I've heard someone say recently, like, it's hard to compare rock bottoms because you just don't know whatever walk of life or spectrum of life you come from. Your hard life is your hard life, whatever it looks like, and we all have shared experience. We're human, wherever you come from. We're all human people. We all do human things. And if you're out there listening and you think you hit rock bottom, talk to somebody. Reach out to somebody. I know it's hard. We've all been there, and it's not easy. Believe me, it is not easy. We've all hit these obstacles. And you got to figure out how to get around it, right?
Fight through.
It's really great.
Outstanding. And that's great.
And I'm fortunate enough to live, day zero with this knucklehead. So. Dang. So anybody's got a great question on in the virtual land, you just send it out there. I'll answer it for you.
Oh my God.
About him.
Oh my God.
About him. Just let me know. I'll
give me that headset.
No. We're waiting. The lines are open.
There's a couple for him right now. You can ask him and he can answer over your shoulder. Let's see here.
All right, what you got?
This is from at Honey. TJ, after 32 years of military service and multiple deployments, what was the moment you realized these stories needed to become Warrior Dad?
Yeah. So, holy cow. Now, let me think about that one. So it was 2017 is when I started writing my final deployment. I started writing about Cool Bear, and it was just haikus and very short odes so I could send to my daughter. And then when I decided to retire, about my 30-year mark, 2 years out, so I'm a little over 32 is when I retired. I had a collection of poems. I went back to read them and all these haikus, and I thought, this would be really neat to tell the story to my daughter as a whole. She didn't read all of them. I didn't send all of them to her. And I wanted to show her what I did while I was deployed, my 9 combat deployments, and then how do I share that with her? Because I really never really talked to her about what I did because I just didn't know how. And I think early in my career, my life, I just didn't want to. And so I started to put them together into a story. And I had a group of friends to help me put it into a story arc where I was able to actually tell the story. So The Adventures of Cool Bear was the actual first book that I wrote. The manuscript is done. Everything is done. I have a great illustrator in Ronnie. He's overseas. He does my illustration for me. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good.
Yeah. And so that's done. I'll get that out later this year. But I realized contextually some of the odes and the haikus in there were not for young children. So I pulled them out and I started making a story out of it. And when you look at the book, and the very first ode is a dad getting ready to deploy. He's hand in hand with his daughter. He's walking to his car, get ready to leave. And his daughter is 6 years old, and that's the age my daughter stood at the bottom of the stairs while I was walking down there and said, "Hey, Dad, you're too scary. I want to go back home," because she was living with us over the summertime. And that's the reason why she's 6 years old and why she's 20 right now when he comes home at the end, because that's the age she is now. And so that's the story of why I wrote this book, is I wanted to show her that no matter what I was doing and where I was, she was always in my thoughts everywhere I was going. Her light shielded me while I was in danger and hardship, and that her light guided my path everywhere I went, and still guide. Yeah, thank you. It still guides my path and continues to help me with my reforged journey. So yes, that's the whole of that. And you can actually find out more. Like, I would highly encourage everybody to go onto the website, download the companion guide. It's free, and it gives you a lot of the backstory on the missing haiku. I like to call them the lost haikus that inspired a lot of the odes, and a little bit more of the backstory on each one of the odes that are in the book. Because there's one in there about my buddy saving my life, so I wrote about him and everything else. So, and that's all in the downloadable companion guide.
And sort of side note is, so Tom's been a poet for a while. We, like in junior high, the Panther Tales, junior high.
1989, yeah.
Yeah, 1980, Princeton Junior High in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Goodness gracious. So young, super nerdy Tom. Not really changed, just not young anymore. But so we both
get to the question to you.
So we both young kids who did poetry, if you will, because you kind of sort of had to, because they told you to. But then we were actually published. We both won in our different categories. It's really great. It's kind of funny. He found them recently. I was like, oh God, I forgot we wrote these. And so again, like I said before, like you look at this like hulking monster of a dude. 6'5", 230 or 215 now, 220, man, 220. Lost about 10 pounds. It's good. Just trying to be like me. I got it.
Might be slim.
Yeah. But those headphones bad. Yeah, no, you're not getting the headphones back. That's my time. No, so no, it's fun. But no, it's really great. So having him do this and sharing it and being able to help. Edit's not the right word. I didn't edit any of the poems, but we did a lot of work with the images
In the story arc.
And helping with that. And and then through that again, the Trophy Husband Survival Guide, which we're really excited about. Like, don't eat gas station sushi, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Flash to bang is pretty quick on that.
It is very quick. A lot of people have learned that the hard way.
Especially 10 minutes down the road. This guy right here.
It's a little worse than Taco Bell.
Oh, God, yeah, right?
All right, next question.
What else you
Ready?
got?
Here we go. This one is from @ReinventYou. The book talks about the quieter cost of service, missed moments, distance, and sacrifice. Was there a particular memory that was the hardest to put into words?
Yeah. So this is not in the book. I wrote. So I was at the TBI clinic for 10 weeks down at the James Daly Hospital in Tampa. And through that, we have art therapy as a part of it. And you get a paper mache mask, and everybody paints their story on this mask. We display them, and each one is a different meaning for each one of the service members. And they're pretty impressive. And I didn't know what I wanted to create, so I didn't really do anything for the first few weeks. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And one day I woke up, unfortunately, and then just at a memory, and then I realized it was one of the hardest things was with my buddy Dave, who wrote the accolades on the front of my cover, who I've been with for a lot of my deployments and training, everything while I was in the Army. And we were doing an operation. We got called out, and so we were about 6 weeks in the mountains in the Hindu Kush, and we're around 13,000 feet going through there and trying to find some stuff. So we did brought in a company plus the Rangers, did this massive hit, and it was pretty extensive, just getting there and all the hardships and everything. And then I just remember that morning we're on the ridgeline still, and I remember the sun rising. And so again, where the valley floor is around 10,000 feet, we're still again like we're on 12,000, 13,000 feet. And I look to the west and just see a swath of destruction caused by us and coming in and doing the job that we've been asked to do. And then I looked to the east, and the sun was rising over pristine snow, untouched mountain, untouched valley, untouched woods, untouched river. And I look to the right again, it's flames, smoldering buildings, again, destruction. I look to the east again, I'm like, oh my gosh, the dichotomy of what just happened from a very destructive night to the hope at dawn. And that's the poem that I wrote. I've got it posted, and I'll get it up on my website here shortly as I'm redesigning my site. And I painted my mask. So the right side of my mask is if you have the mask on your face. On the right side, the western side, it's all about the destruction of what we saw and what we caused. And on the left-hand side is pristine white with around the eyes. It's all yellow as if it's to represent the sun. And then I have like mottled paste in between where the eyes are, and they're blue because it's my blue eyes. It's my blue eyes saw all these things. And I was going to put it in the book. I didn't think at the time it was right for the book. It was very, very personal for me. It's I think it was a little, even now it's pretty powerful for me to even talk about it. So I didn't want to put it in the book. I didn't know if I even wanted to put it out at all, but I eventually did. I eventually posted it. I think I got it on some of my sites and everything. But when it comes to some of those moments, it's sitting there and remembering. So just a quiet few minutes and just really understanding like where we put ourselves, the situations we put ourselves and we're asked to do. And in the moment, you just know you've got your teammates around them, you're trusting, you're doing all the things that we've been asked to do, and training takes over. But the next morning, when you look at it, really take a look at what was going on, you're just like, oh, we did this. We took down a town. We caused this destruction. But then you look to the east, you see the sun rising over pristine snow and a pristine valley, and you realize there is hope. There is hope for the future. And then when I talk about being reforged through my TBI and going through the TBI clinic and learning how to literally walk straight again, like no joke, and putting my mind back together when it comes to speech and a few other things, and making myself a better person for my wife and my family. That really holds a very powerful meaning for me when it comes to those few moments in life that I'm able to really reflect on. And so the hope or hope at dawn is why I wrote that ode. And to your question, it really fits that question very well, and because that is what I remember. That is a very difficult moment for me, but it's also inspirational for me now as I move forward in my life, as I remember looking to the east, and that is the path that I want to be on and continue to be on, and understanding what happened off to the west and the destruction, not to allow that to be my anchor anymore, but allow that to be my foundation, my past, understand it, but I continue to look towards the sun so I can move forward and be at peace with myself.
Outstanding. Great answer. And that's a very good question, too. Thank you for that question. Great answer. And we'll go on to the next one. This one is from Crucible Life. Many veterans struggle to redefine purpose after service. What do you say to someone who feels like they've lost their mission after they take the uniform off?
This is a great question for you, and I'm doing the same right now. It's kind of funny. I'm actually going through this part right now.
So I've read a couple articles on LinkedIn on this specifically. I just wrote one when I came out on being unshackled and coming out and transforming my life. And I made a conscious decision to come out of the military and not do anything that it was, I wouldn't say remotely related to the military, but I didn't want to be a GS civilian or a contract. But my life was a little bit different at this time. I have had the ability I didn't have to do that. I don't have to, quote unquote, do a traditional 9 to 5. And I know my life experiences are right now different than some. I've been also in the Army almost 33 years. So a lot of my time has already been taken up from the military. But when it comes out from my transformation, I knew what I didn't want to do. I knew what I wanted to do, and I wanted to be a better person. And intrinsically, what is my passion? What is my passion in life? And I use that to now fuel my purpose. I decided to not allow titles of who I was to anchor me, because that's not who I am anymore. I am TJ Baird. I've had some folks here today. I think it's really neat. They're like, hey, Sergeant Major. I said, I really do appreciate it, but I am TJ, warrior dad. I am no longer in the Army. I do appreciate, it's kind of neat. You get in there as a CSM retired, and especially at a military function, and I get that, I understand it, and it is nice that homage that we pay, pay our respects to our service members who've been in for that long a time. But I am TJ Baird, and that is who I am. So I took that shackle off. I took that off, that title off. I'm still a soldier, right? You're a soldier for life. I understand that. But now I have a new purpose. I have a new passion, and that is writing. And so for all of you out there that are transitioning out of the military, don't think of it as a transition. Think of it as a transformation. That's right. Reforging. Yeah, reforge who you are, because now you've got this great opportunity. You get to make the choices, right? My wife started making fun of me as I'm doing all this. So we get to make choices now. We get to say, hey, I want to do this and I want to do that. The Army or the military, right there, right. So the military is not now telling us what we have to do, right? My grandparents were Italian, so they are no longer telling us what we have to do. We get to make those decisions, and we, as an individual and as a family, as we move forward in life, we get to make those decisions. And here's the greatest part: if we don't like the decision that we make, guess what? We can change it really quickly. We don't have to wait for a PCS. We don't have to wait for an ETS. We don't have to wait for any kind of change of mission. We get to make that decision. And so for anybody that's coming out of the military or any transition in our life, we see a lot of threats that are out there, right? When you look at the strengths, weaknesses, I'm sorry, the SWOT, I'm talking about strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, right? Take all those weaknesses and threats and turn them into the opportunities. Say, okay, I see all these things that are coming up. Like, okay, I got to come out of the military. I've got to, change in my pay. I've got to change in my schedule. I've got to change all these things. But then now, how do I turn it into an opportunity for me and my family? And by me, I mean all of us, right? The royal me. How do I change that to make it an opportunity for my family, friends, me, whatever it is? And that's what I did. And I pivoted completely to being an author, to being a speaker, and to really, hopefully, inspire others just to walk their own path. And a hand puppet guy, right? And reach out anytime. Like, you can contact me on my website, and we can do a one-on-one. I could come out. We can just chat. Like, hey, how did you do that? How did you come out of almost 33 years in the Army, 9 combat deployments, 20 plus overall, and reforge who you are as a barrel-chested freedom fighter, a senior leader in the Army, to now you're a TJ warrior dad, and you have taken on this other persona and not allowed that past to be your anchor and drag us down or prevent us from moving forward at the pace we want to. It is not easy. We're talking about it now, and it sounds easy. It is not, because we do have to take the conscious decision to drop that anchor and to move forward.
Yeah, so what's interesting is, is Tom is he joined the Army before I did. I went to college. He a young 17-year-old kid joined the Army, and so I went a different path and jumped in about 5 years later after college, but a year after college, I should say. It sounded like it would be 5 years school, but
right.
It's okay if you do, but so I'm in the transition process now as far as for getting out of the Army and retiring, and working with this great foundation called the Commit Foundation that helps service members that are retiring to help find your purpose. And one of the great things I learned from that is like Tom said, figure out what you want to do. The Army and the service doesn't have to tell you what you're doing. So like, you know you're going next. You know what you're doing next. You know the job you're going to. Yeah, I had never written a resume. I had never done an interview before. Not like this. So I'm working with some folks at the Commit Foundation. One of my friends linked up with these two really great British ladies who used to work for the TAP program, the transition program, assistance program. God bless it. I almost said assessment program, right? And so those two ladies have been helping me with my resume, with mock interviews, and trying to help me figure out what I want to be when I grow up. And same with the Commit Foundation. And one of the things, if you're having some challenges, it sounds really weird. But I got this great book that was recommended from these foundations called Designing Your Life. And it's all about, like, it's for anybody getting out of high school, graduating college, old buddy-duddies like us, trying to figure out what we want to be when we grow up. I got to tell you, it's been amazing. And, we figured out that you can do a lot of things when you come out of the service. You're spending 30 years and you got a certain skill set to do all these really great things. But is that what you really want to do, like Tom said? And so I figured out I didn't want to do these things again. Like I don't want to be a DA civilian. I don't want to be a contractor. I don't want to sell things back to the Army. So we work through these things. We're trying to figure out what we want to do. And so finding purpose is huge. And understand because you lose some of that when you come out of the service. You lose some of your identity. You do lose some of your identity, because you're not always around the service members, unless you want to be, get back into something that you did previously. But he didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. Others do it. Hey, that's really great. It's good for you. But it's been an amazing ride this past few months trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up, and so part of this leadership coaching is a big one. Authorship with Tom. Like I said, we're going to publish a couple books here coming out next year or so. But if you're trying to find purpose, I think that designing your life or reaching out to other foundations that help out has been really great. And they will support you what you want to do.
That's outstanding. And I know when I got out, I took a year off, a complete year off, right out, and tried to find myself. And I volunteered at the Red Cross because they helped us out in the service, of course, and getting soldiers home, getting me home when I needed it. And then I worked for a nonprofit for 2 years and then fell into contracting because of my first sergeant. He brought me into it. And now, almost 8 years later, that contract was up. So, you got me, Tom?
I do. I do.
Yeah, so I was saying, at the end of this week, my contract is up, and I don't know what I'm going to do again with my hands, but I know I've met people like you talked about earlier, networking, to help me push. You had the Commit Foundation, Derek. I just shared that website as well for everyone else that's looking for it. I was told to read a book called "What Color Is My Parachute" when I was getting out. And that book is kind of like finding your life as well, and trying to find your purpose. And I sat and read that, and I was like, "Why am I reading about parachutes? I don't want to do that of anything." But then it just kind of get behind that and figure out what I'd drink with my dog on the couch, and found my way and found my purpose. And the show really is the best part of my life, the purpose to help others and listen to stories. And like your warrior dad stories and every other veteran that comes person that comes on the show and shares. So I think we all find a little niche to get into and excel. And once I took off the uniform, I never wanted to be called Sergeant LaMonica again. And there's a lot of people I work with that can't let that go. They cannot let what their rank was go.
Yeah, it's good to. It's always good to remember it. It's always good to have it as a foundation. And then for that question is too is so my number 4 life and leader principle is have fun. And so when you professionally and personally just want to have fun, and that's the greatest thing about transitioning out of the military. Now you have a whole new life ahead of you. You got all these chapters that we can write now, and we get to make those decisions. And I would say this: depending on your life circumstances, if you've got time, take it and do some soul searching, and it's okay to dabble in different things to figure out what you really want to do when you get out of the service. Again, it depends on your life circumstances. I know a lot of folks, they got families to support and everything. They got to get back into the workforce, and I get it. But here's the cool thing is, it's okay to get that job right away. But as you're in there, and if it's a job you love and you're passionate about it, stick with it. That's amazing. But if it's not, if it's just, hey, I got to get something right away so I can support my family, awesome. But here's the great thing, like I said before, and you've said it as well, is you got decisions, and those decisions are yours. You don't have to wait on anybody else to make that change of mission, which is fantastic.
Exactly. Once you find that purpose, you'll know what it is when you find it. The thing you wake up every morning is, I get to do this. I get to go out and do this. Like that first job you took because you needed that money. I got to do it. Get to do stuff when you have that purpose. And I think once you find that, everything else is gravy.
Yes. Without a doubt.
Yes. We'll take one last question here.
Okay.
This one is from Elsbeth47. Warrior Dad Stories is growing beyond the book
That's
into
a great question.
around leadership, service, and fatherhood.
We've talked about this quite a bit,
This
actually.
community becomes 5 years from now. Here we go.
Yes, a community for people to share their stories. So my brother and I are actually talking about this as he is now coming out of the Army. And as a team, what do we want to do with Warrior Dad Stories? So it starts with sharing stories. That is always the number one. Stories have been around far longer than the written word. Just passed down from person to person. A good story lasts generations. And we know a lot of those stories. We read a lot of those stories. We've all read a lot of those stories. And so for us is, how can we give back? We talk about it, right? Service is a big thing for us, not self, but others. We learned that from our grandfather who served in World War II. How do we, 5 years from now, take these stories and not only share them with others, but then share life lessons with them through speaking engagements, through other stories, through other leadership coaching, especially it's a huge passion for my brother and for me. And just connecting people. And for me specifically is, if one person reads this book or hears my stories or hears other stories and they're having a rough time in life, or even if they're having a great time in life, but they can still stay on their path and their journey in life, because all of our journeys are different. All of our different. We may have similar destinations, we may have the same destination, but the journey will continue and it will always be our own. And if we're having trouble on that pathway, if we can help somebody else along the way, and if it's one person, that's phenomenal. And so for 5 years from now, what does it look like? It looks like my brother and me continue to share our stories, continue to inspire others to stay on their path. If they want to find a new path, how can we help them find a new path, with their passion and their purpose, and encourage them along the way. Not only encourage them, because encouragement's great, but how do we help? Resource advocacy is a phenomenal one, right? Because we've all done as leaders is, yes, we could help and shape and mold people, but the advocacy for those individuals is phenomenal, because you're not advocating to that individual, you're advocating to other people about that individual. So how can we help out with that? That is great. That's why I see Warrior Dad Stories in the next 5 years is building a platform we can stand up and sit down with you and others that just share our stories, life lessons that are, and those stories are not all kumbaya stories. They're hard stories. They're stories of failure, of stumbling, of running into a wall time and time again, and then finally finding a way to get around that obstacle, that wall, and then building on that strength and understanding that even though we fall, and as my wife's tattoo has in her arm, is fall 7, rise 8. Life's going to punch us right in the face continuously. How do we get up and say, okay, thanks for making me a better person. Thanks for showing me some of the gaps in my foundation. You've made me stronger. You've allowed me to shore those gaps up. You've allowed me to build my own strength again and then move us forward. And so that's where I see Warrior Dad Stories going in 5 years from now, is to continue to inspire others to go on their journey. And then maybe sometime down the road is to share their story with others. It's not just Warrior Dad Stories. It's not just Derek and me and you, Rich, with your podcast and others. It's to inspire others to share their stories as well, and just build a community behind that shows and tells inspirational stories. And a lot of times we'll start with a hardship story and then we get to an end, because I would say a lot of good stories have a little bit of hardship in it, because it hones us and allows us to reforge.
Yeah. Definitely. Outstanding. And that's a great ending for this episode. And I know we're going to have another episode with the two of you and me in the future. Maybe Veterans Week will come together and have a show then, basically a round table to see where Derek is in his transition journey, and where Warrior Dad and Warrior Dad Stories is at that point, and keep moving forward. This has been great. Thank you again, TJ, for letting me host you for this and share Warrior Dad Stories with the world.
Hey, thanks a lot, Rich. And I'll be looking at Clarksville, try to find a local bookstore out there, and maybe do a book signing out there. Maybe we can meet in person, which would be great. I'm really looking forward to that. And then sharing our story with, I'm an 82nd guy, but I'll go out there with 100th person.
We'll take care of
team
you.
out there.
We'll put you a little wing right there.
First Cav, live the legend. Live the legend. First Cavalry Division. Oh my God,
Live the legend, brother. Whatever.
Oh my God! What?
Just Jetson. Love it.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Rich, for hosting us. You are amazing. You and your team have been phenomenal. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I look forward to more stories.
Thanks, Rich.
Have a good one, guys.
Oh, you too, brother. Have a good one.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.